see. Caplin Point Labs is the next company on our radar. Reported a good set of numbers. Double-digit growth continues. Margins have sustained at 33% levels. Let's have Vivek Partheeban, COO at Caplin Point, now join us to talk to us about the numbers and the outlook. Vivek, good morning. Good to have you with us here. Thank you for joining us. Prashant this side. So new launches, some manufacturing efficiencies. Could you give us a sense of what the outlook is for this quarter, Jan to March, and then FY2026 as well? Because if I look at revenue growth, it's come off to about just under 14%. This used to be 16 to 18% earlier. So just give us a sense of what growth will look like from here.
Yeah, so I think for us, consistency has always been key. We're also coming off a larger base compared to a few years ago. As we've always guided in the past, I think the next couple of years is going to be a stabilization period for us. So I think the current numbers that you see will likely continue at least for another 12 to 18 months. But we have some good levers of growth that are at early stages right now, such as our US front-end presence, our oncology business, and also our impending entry into Brazil and Mexico. But yeah, post 18 to 24 months, I think we can start to see a fairly nice uptick in these numbers. But I think for till then, what we're focused on has always been cash flow and bottom line consistency. And I think even on top line, I think we've been fairly consistent.
All right. For FY2026, Vivek, can you give us a sense what will be top line growth at?
Yeah, I think we can start to see similar kind of numbers. See, it also sort of goes back to why our company has been so focused on the private market, where there is a large amount of predictability that comes into play as well, right? So I think that will certainly continue in 2026 and beyond. I think hopefully by 27 and beyond, I think you can start to see some of these early stage opportunities start to fructify a little.
So 13-14% type of top line growth in 26.
I would probably assume so, yes.
Okay, all right. And Vivek, what about margins? Since you'll be looking at profitability as well as cash flows, you have been in the vicinity of around 32 to around 34%. Should it hold at these levels?
Yes, we think so. I think we're comfortable with where the margins are right now. And as you can imagine, our API business, which is going to come into play shortly, our oncology piece is all in very nascent stages. So they're not really profitable at the moment. So once that starts to kick on, you will start to see our bottom line slowly inching up a little bit. But I think at current levels of 35, 36% EBITDA, I think we are almost benchmark at this rate, So we are very comfortable where we stand. 2 years hence, I think this can start to even go up from here.
How big can Caplin One Labs, the oncology business, grow to? I think in the first 9 months, you've done around 35 crores. What kind of a number can you clock this year, and bigger plans, maybe the next 2-3 years? How do you see this business scaling up?
Yeah. So anything with pharmaceuticals, as you all know, there is a long gestation period. There is a period of approvals coming through. There's a period of products that need to be filed in multiple places. So we're definitely very hopeful that the oncology business will start to add to the top and bottom line. But I think numbers-wise, I think we'll be fairly cautious in giving any guidance at this point.
Yeah. So just I have two questions. One, you're dependent in large part on China, right, for supplies, starting ingredients, etc.
At this point, it's only around, no, at this point, it's only around 28-30% from China. Everything else is made in India.
Okay. So about 30% is dependent on China. I had 45% as a number. You're saying about 30% is there any, is that all going well, or is there any problems at all recently, actually, not, have they faced any issues?
We've been very bullish on China, to be honest with you. And that's always been sort of Caplin's mantra as well. When other people are worried about it, we like going into those spaces, So we think there's a lot of green shoots. We think there's a lot of opportunities that we can do out of China, especially when China by itself is sort of slowly looking at, some amount of decoupling from their largest business partners, such as US and stuff, So I think if you identify the right opportunities, especially for people like us that have been there for almost 2 decades right now, you can identify spaces where it could be very synergistic opportunities that you can find. In fact, our insulin range and our early stage biosimilar range, etc., we've been working very closely with the Chinese counterparts who seem to be having a bit of a heads up in that direction for us. So I think we are still very bullish on our second innings at China.
Got that. Any sort of foray into GLP-1 opportunities in any way?
I think most people in the world today are working on that. Of course, we need to identify what our niche is. We're also working on those products in conjunction with the patents that are getting off in the next couple of years. And how are we going to differentiate ourselves from everybody else that is doing it is important as well. We have some unique ideas. I think this will be another 12 to 24 month kind of a play, but for sure, I think we're also in it. Yes.
Okay, all right, you're in it, but what shape and form will you're kind of sort of firming up right now, right?
See, as you know, we have quite a large presence in Latin America, and Latin America is a price-sensitive market, and it's a market where Caplin has a very strong brand recall. So we would be designing our strategy for these molecules that suits what Latin American customers are able to do over there. So we don't want to give away too much right now, but I think certainly it's another 12 to 24 month play for us to get into this space.
Okay, all right, Vivek, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for your time. Good to speak with you and get that detail. Appreciate it very much here on CNBC TV-18.